For Central Leeds, or is it too loud? Sorry. I've got quite a loud voice anyway, so I might as well not bother the microphone. I expect... Chris, you're not helping at all. You're like a one-man Mexican wave. Housing is something that affects us all. And I'm sure there are other people in this room who've suffered under bad landlords and bad living conditions. I myself, this past winter, was in a house where mould was a horrendous problem and it affected me very badly. And when I called up my letting agent to complain about this, I got the wonderful line straight back, which was that there's never been any medical link proved between mould and ill health. And she then said again, well, I'm not a scientist, you're not a scientist. Actually, can I stop you there? I am actually a scientist. And then sent her a very long-winded email linking into World Health Organization reports regarding the problems between mould and ill health. But this is something that we're all having to fight against, is the quality of housing. And this is something the Greens are really keen to do. Currently, there's roughly about 700,000 homes, properties rather, in the UK that are not used. There are massive amounts of housing that is substandard, and that people are being forced into short-term contracts, 6 months, and forced to move around. So, especially those on the poverty line or those on benefits, every 6 months they've got to find a new deposit, find more money to move into what is probably going to be an even worse property because they're forced to look for these quickly. So the Greens, this is something we really want to tackle, and I think it's something that really affects a lot of people in Leeds. Because the statistics show that even though compared to rent-wise to wage-wise, it isn't as big a disparity as the rest of the UK, the quality of housing in Leeds is some of the worst comparatively to any of the other areas of the UK. So one thing that we look to do is create a register of local landlords to promote the good and get out the bad. Because that's something that has to happen. It's been too long that landlords have had no real controls or strictures of them, and they're allowed to get away with this. I mean, when my landlord actually said to the letting agent that he'd come around and fix the problem with my property. I have moved out of that property and I'm still waiting for him to come around and fix it because I now live next door in a much nicer house. But that's it, he didn't actually have, there was no legal framework for me to complain, to force him to change that property. Now, alongside that, what we do as well is we create empty property orders. We'd aim to open, these would be for those empty properties around the UK, and we'd open them up for use. Because I think it is a travesty that so many properties are out there and there's such a shortage of affordable housing. And one thing as well is that we would actually push towards as well, forcing landlords to improve energy efficiency and move towards solar panel installation, better insulation programs, and that's something as well that we will be directly behind. Is increasing subsidies for renewables in new properties and old properties, and increasing subsidies so that more houses can have insulation. Housing is in many ways at the core of a lot of our principles, especially the renewable side of it. Because we also, as a Green Party, want to look to build 500,000 new homes. Now, that does sound like a lot, and we don't want to obviously infringe too much on the Green Belt. We don't want to build on sensitive areas, but Britain desperately needs affordable housing that is well built and has low eco-impact. And if we can, we'd like to push forward to totally carbon neutral houses as well, which is something that with the technological advances we've had recently we can do. And I mean, one thing that we would do as well, which I don't think there's anybody who's going to disagree in this room, we would scrap the bedroom tax. That is just another attack. Another attack on the most vulnerable. Once again, those on the low-level poverty line. And it's something that is just abhorrent. I don't know why it's ridiculous in many ways, but I think that just really states the Tory government, really. And they do seem to like to go for the most vulnerable. I reckon they go for workhouses if they can get away with it. Well, to be fair, Workfare really is the workhouse, but without the workhouse. Oh, an interesting fact. I found a fact out yesterday that, slightly off topic, but 300 hours is the maximum amount of community service that a convicted felon can be put to in this country. Workfare puts you to 760 hours of community service. So the unemployed are doing more than double the amount of community service hours that convicted criminals are. I'll leave you on that point. So thank you very much, guys, for listening.